people, welcome back. This is the JR Wisdom channel. Appreciate you guys once again for tuning into my channel. It means a lot. So let's jump right into it. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic which is in reference to a comment that one of my viewers made on a video that I recently did. And the video is, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. 90-day representative. So she commented, and it's very interesting, and I've done videos similar to the reason why this person might have done this. And it's not uncommon. It happens a lot. And that's the topic of ghosting, no contact. But before I get to that, I'm going to go ahead and read her comment based upon that. So she says, my Christian boyfriend of 18 months. We spoke of marriage and children. We're both 40 years old. I accidentally found another girl's hair on his pillowcase when sleeping over due to traveling for work. Didn't think anything of it. Then I accidentally found a new box of condoms in his garbage can. This prompted me to check his drawers. Yeah, I know, not cool. And I found the condom strips in his drawer along with a female vibrator. We are not sexually active because of our beliefs. I'm Christian. When I asked him about it after a dinner date, all he said was, I don't know why that's there. You don't know why that's there. Anyway, we'll get to that. We had just come from dinner where he told me he wants to marry me and puts me on a pedestal and would do nothing ever to hurt me, which I guess is a perfect time for you to bring that up. After calmly asking him about it, I haven't heard from him since. Happy Thanksgiving to me. I could understand this from an unbeliever, but he prophesizes Christ and volunteers at church every Sunday in the children's ministry. So she goes on because I guess someone asked the question and she kind of elaborates on the situation. You know, obviously she asked me, why do people do this? Which I'm going to get into that here. But anyway, she expounds on this and she says, in reference to why do people do this, somebody, attempted to answer. She was like, that's not the question was directed towards. I know that man is normal to have a sex drive. The thing is, we spoke about sex openly. Just like men need it, so do women. My point is, why do people just lie even after openly talking about it? He was cheated on years ago with an ex-girlfriend and knows the pain associated with that. My question was more as to, how do you say you love someone and want to marry them to all of a sudden go silent? I didn't accuse him. In fact, it was very calm and no screaming, etc. Trust me, by no means did I ever think he was perfect or flawless. I just never thought he'd just poof, vanish. The moment I have a question about what I found. My question was more like, how could someone just disregard someone's feelings? Like, he didn't say anything, but I don't know why that's there. That's it, then poof, gone. No calls, no nothing. That's what's messed up. In terms of that, I completely agree with that. This is definitely not the way you conduct yourself with someone that you're planning on marrying, even someone that you're in a relationship and you guys have an understanding. In Christ, you're, supposed to be Christians. He's supposed to be a Christian. And you have this understanding that you guys are leading this celibate, abstaining from sex, platonic relationship up until the point where you get married, which it sounds like he was serious about, but the way he went about it is definitely wrong, especially when you're, professing this in the name of Christ, that you're leading a certain lifestyle to a woman that you're in love with, and that's really not the case. Now, here's one thing. As Jesus said, the flesh, the mind is willing, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. This is no excuse for all of this. The nature of man is strong, which is still no excuse. The nature of a woman is strong as well. But when we have something such as religion, this higher power that we're subscribing to, and we come to an agreement, if you can't uphold that end, then you need to be completely honest with the person you're dealing with, because you're leading this woman on and you're not conducting yourself in a manner as far as saving yourself in that aspect. As far as what you did, you obviously came upon these certain things, which the whole saying goes, if you're looking for it, you're going to find it. That's with anybody. That's going to happen. But I know initially you weren't looking for certain things. You probably went to throw away a plate or a can in the trash, and you happened to see a box of condoms, which you didn't trip about, which you should have, because a man would trip about that. And you happen to go through the drawer, because all this does is trigger things in your mind at a point where curiosity is just going to set in. Distrust is going to set in. Not to say that you did the right thing by going through his drawers, but you already pretty much had confirmation by finding the condom box in the trash. And this man, you said, 18 months? This is a year and a half. You and this guy have been talking. So you probably know his ins and outs, how he conducts daily business, other than the fact that he is having these extra sexual escapades on the side with whatever it is that he's doing. So are there things that you should be looking at in a relationship? Were you blindsided? From what it sounds like, yes, you were blindsided because you believed that someone was other than what they said that they were. And it's good. Everything that is done in the dark comes to light. We all know about that, how we talk about that, how it's explained. And this just happened to be at that point in your life where this was brought to light. This was on your mind, obviously, for some time, and you waited till the point where he wanted to marry you and you decided to bring it up because I guess you overlooked it up until this point. You brought it to his attention. He was dumbfounded. How did she know this? How do you know this? His mind was probably racing 1,000,000 miles a minute because he proclaimed to be this, and this, but his flesh was weak in the meanwhile. So what he in turn did was, due to embarrassment, I don't know if you guys go to the same church, but anyway, you might have said that. I might be overlooking that. But due to embarrassment, due to what he professed, due to this ego of his, he decides to do what many people may call, practical or reasonable at that point, because there's really no turning back. You caught him red-handed. He decided to go no contact. Instead of explaining to you as supposed to be an honest, God-fearing man, he decides to go no contact or ghost you, which is one of those parts of reasons why people do ghost people, which is a passive-aggressive, really poor way to effectively communicate with someone, especially someone you've been in a relationship with so long. This emotional part where he's unable to deal with himself, where he's ashamed to that point of you finding out. He's just think, for someone to be able to go this long without talking to you or without you getting an explanation, I know it hurts. It's ridiculous. How could somebody ever do this? How could we be in a relationship? How could they move on? You have to understand that people are people, and they're going to conduct themselves as they see fit, whether this is passive aggressive, because no contact is passive aggressive. And there's several reasons why they do it, and this was just one of them. Could be embarrassment. people are in relationships where they steal from one another, even though they may be quote unquote the one in the wrong. They'll go no contact. People will go no contact when they're being treated badly. There's all different types of reasons, and I know you feel like you're at a loss. You probably feel heartbroken because you've invested this much time in a person, but it's better now than after you guys got married, if you were to marry this gentleman. So you have to look at it like that. There's a silver lining a lot of times in everything. The lesson is learned, and the Almighty saw fit to reveal this to you, and you decided to reveal it to this gentleman on the night that he decides he wants to marry you. So with that being said, don't look at it as a loss. I was told by a young lady a few years ago, when people ghost you or stop talking to you, sometimes you don't need to ask the question why. The why doesn't really matter. You have to look within yourself, and that's the part where peace comes in. Is that it's not the end of the world. Obviously, that's not the person for you. You know what type of person this person is. So go back to the drawing board. This is just another step in perfecting yourself in this life, this path that we're on, this relationship odyssey that many of us are on, of finding the right one, quote unquote. But here's the secret. You're searching for the right one, or you're searching for the one, but you are the one. The sooner you realize that, the happier you'll be. So I hope this video makes sense to you. I hope it makes sense to everyone else that's watching this. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys who have supported me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, by all means, give it a thumbs down. So if you feel like you have any questions or anything else, feel free to hit me up. If you like a book a one-on-one with me, you can click the link in the description below to book a one-on-one, set up the appointment directly through my website, and I'll catch you guys on the next live stream or chat. I'm out. Peace be upon you, and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. I'm out.